Hi everyone, I'm Sean, and today I'm going to be doing the AuthorTube Newbie Tag. So let's get into it. Question 1. How did you find out about AuthorTube? I found out about the AuthorTube tag from Emily Kathleen Reads. So go give her video a look. I'll link it in the description. Question 2. What genres do you write in? I don't really write to specific genres. I kind of just write the book and then I try to figure out loosely what genre it fits into. So Waiting for the Rain, my first book, was a young adult clean romance, and also is kind of a foodie, a book about food. The Trevor Knight series, I used to call it action adventure satire, but I've kind of decided on calling it geopolitical thriller satire. So what I do is I just take semi-historical events like the 2011 Egyptian Revolution, which is this book, and the 2012 Syrian Civil War, which is this book, and I just kind of play around with it. And I also make fun of a lot of different countries along the way, and make fun of ISIS, and make fun of Turkey, Russia, the United States, Republicans, Democrats. So I kind of call this geopolitical thriller satire. And then the Samuel Creed series is kind of new adult romance. And the first book, Keeping Creed, I was trying to figure out the genre. I was kind of calling it like military fiction romance. But one of my friends online suggested I call it a coming of age in the 9/11 era. And I think that's a real good description for the book. So coming of age in the 9/11 era. Question 3. What is your preferred writing tense point of view? Most of my books are written in third person past tense. My first book, Waiting for the Rain, was in first person past tense. I also have another book in the works that is in first person present tense mostly, but I am most comfortable with third person past tense. Question 4. Are you a plotter, pantser, or plantser? It depends on the book. I kind of do a hybrid. My first book, Waiting for the Rain, I just came up with 3 central characters, Mackenzie, AJ, and Bree, and I knew the basic premise of the book, which is that Mackenzie wants a first kiss in the rain. That's all I knew about the book, and I just started writing. The Trevor Knight series tends to be more plot-oriented, so I do a chapter-by-chapter outline, and I usually stick to it pretty close. I will deviate from it occasionally, and I will create new characters on the spot and maybe new storylines on the spot, but mostly I stick to chapter outline. And then the Samuel Creed series, I will usually come up with some kind of a skeletal outline. Maybe not a chapter-by-chapter outline, but sort of the main points in the book. And then I'll just kind of write, because I know the characters already, so I just let the characters lead the story for that series. So I do a little bit of all. Question 5. Are you self-published, traditionally published, or yet to be published? I am self-published. I think the first thing you should really figure out before you decide what route you're going to go for publishing is to really ask yourself what you want to accomplish with your books. If you want to make a living out of your writing, if you want to support your family through your writing, well, first I should say you should get a real job, because writing is writing. But if you want to make writing a serious profession, your income, I think you should go the traditional route. If your main goal is just to get your book on a shelf, maybe just your own shelf, maybe just a few family and friends, then I think the self-publishing route makes more sense. But yeah, I think that's the first question you should really ask yourself honestly, is what you want to achieve in your publishing. I know we all kind of dream of having blockbuster movies based on our books and, you know, a worldwide phenomenal best-selling and all that. That's a very high aspiration, but you really need to check yourself and ask what you really want to achieve with your writing. Myself, I just wanted my books on my shelf, and I've done that, so I'm happy with it. So, yeah. Question 6. What publishing company are you represented by or use? I am published through Amazon, Kindle Direct Publishing, so my books are both available in print and in ebook. Question 7. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? Right now, my main thing is I'm showing people my editing process. So I'm showing how I edit my books and the types of changes I make to my books and why. I may also get into some writing tip videos. I'm a little intimidated about doing that because there are so many good booktubers and stuff who have a whole lot of writing tip videos. And I don't really think I could compete with that, but there are some various things that I would like to add for writing tips or writing suggestions. So I may do some of those videos in the future as well. Question 8. When did you start writing? I really started writing in 4th grade. Every day after school I would stay after and I would write on my teacher's computer. I would just have a book open from the library and I'd just type out the book on her computer, and I was learning to type that way in 4th grade. And that was kind of before computers really became popular in schools, which definitely dates me as a person. I mean, I'm that old apparently. But yeah, so every day after school I'd type on my teacher's computer and I just fell in love with the act of typing, and I also wanted to write my own book at that point. Question 9. What was the first story you ever wrote? I don't remember the first story I ever wrote. The first book I ever wrote seriously was a history book on Christianity in early America, from Columbus to the Founding Fathers. And I worked real hard on that book. I read over 300 books for research and I wrote it over a period of several years. And when I went to publish it, I found out that no publisher would ever be interested in it because I did not have a college degree. So in their mind, I didn't have any credentials to write the book. So I just knew no one would ever be interested in it. So that was very discouraging. And originally I wanted to be a history book author. But when I found out, you know, no one would accept it, then I kind of switched to fiction. And also a larger reason why I started writing fiction is I was just burnt out working on this book and I wanted to change of pace. So I began writing fiction and I wrote Waiting for the Rain, kind of just as a distraction, not really intending to publish it or anything. But I kind of realized my history books would never get off the ground. No one would be interested in them. So I began writing fiction. And that I was, I guess, about 14 when I started that book, America's Christian Heritage, and I finished it when I was about 18. But yeah, that's kind of my first real book. Question 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? My most influential writer would be Clive Cussler. He was a huge influence for me. He's pretty much the first author I ever read back in freshman year of high school. His book Atlantis Found. That's the first book I ever really read, start to finish. And it was a massive influence on me for the Trevor Knight series. I based the Trevor Knight series largely off of Cussler's books. Other authors who have influenced me, there's a bit of Tom Clancy. He was an influence. Janet Evanovich a little bit, Nicholas Sparks a little bit, Robin Carr a teensy weensy bit, Stephen King in a way, kind of his writing style, not his genre, but the way he writes characters. He's just really in depth about characters, so I like that. That was an influence. And then also probably Jack London was a bit of an influence for me. Question 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? I'd like to say I write every day, but I really don't. So I write just whenever I'm in the mood or whenever I have inspiration to, motivation to. I'm a very sporadic writer, so I may write every day for a month, and then I may take, 9 months off, a year off, 2 years off. It really just depends. And also the thing is, after working on a book for a month straight, I just get burned out on it and I need a break. So I'm a very sporadic writer. Question 12. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? I, of course, write on the computer. I think you're crazy if you write by hand, because then you need to make all those, you need to type all of that into a computer anyway. So you just gotta write by computer. I would love to write by typewriter. That would be so cool, but it'll also be very noisy. But yeah, I do it by computer and just right there on my desk, or at my desk, not on my desk. That would, well, the computer is on my desk, so am I writing on my desk or at my desk? Curious. Anyway, yeah. Question 13. What are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of AuthorTube? I'd say I'm most excited to share some of my writing tip videos, because I have, I think, kind of a unique view on books and writing. So some of the things I think are either outside the box, or not many people talk about the things that I would like to talk about. So that would be the thing I'm most excited about. And that's all the questions. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.